A very good morning and welcome to the daily analysis for all the major dollar pairs and of course gold. So euro dollar saw a major sell-off in towards the downside yesterday, and why is that? Well, because we had a clear area of buy side liquidity resting above this blue line here at 1.12017. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can very clearly see that we have a lot of liquidity building up above that high, this high over here, this high over here, this high over here, all of them trying to take out this swing high, all failing to do so. So therefore you understand that there's a lot of sell stops or a lot of buy stops, and a lot of stop losses placed above that overall swing high. Therefore, when you then see the initial reaction over here, the market will not necessarily always dump in towards the downside. More often than not, it will also just continue pushing in towards the highs. However, what you then see obviously is that if you look at the 4-hour time frame here, we see that 4-hour bullish change of character. You don't see a candle close above this 4-hour high, right? So you see the market pushes above but then already rejects, and then obviously as soon as we break the low of this bullish candle, which broke the high of this bullish candle over here, so it caused that bullish break of fractal structure. As soon as this low goes, then you pretty much understand that we're going to see a deeper correction in towards the downside. So we've now seen that correction all the way back down in towards this area of 4-hour demand. Obviously as well, you can see this imbalance candle over here. This is for a lot of people also an area of demand. However, in front of that area of demand, there is no liquidity. You can see in this entire move down, there's no liquidity forming, and therefore we just liquidate the move itself, which is the perfect, let's say, fuel to push the market up higher. So what I'm now looking for EURUSD is to push up higher in towards this area of supply next. So I got my eyes set on that, and then obviously I'm just going to see how we react inside of there. The market is still bullish. If we look at the daily fractal structure, you can very clearly see that what we mentioned in yesterday's video has not changed. As you see here, this is your area of demand on the daily. So this is your daily area of demand that again broke this fractal high over here. So previously this was the fractal high, now it's this fractal high. Then what is your fractal low? The low of that bearish candle of this level of demand. So on the daily, it still makes sense to push up higher. Only until we break the low of this bearish candle will I be interested in looking for sells. Until then, I'm only interested in continuously looking for buys. Okay, so yes, still looking for buys if we come in towards this supply zone. Obviously maybe a short-term short, but otherwise I expect this just simply to be a reaction zone, nothing more than that. And then my ultimate target for EURUSD for now, as long as the daily plays along, is this ultimate swing high here at 1.12758. Now going into the dollar index, the dollar index has still been moving pretty crazy, not gonna lie. At the moment, we're stalling inside this area of demand. I think that we're going to take it out. It's going to be hit out because there's no liquidity in that move down. For the rest, I mean, I'm not really interested in this at the moment. Overall, the pattern is more descending than ascending, meaning that I would rather see a push up because I know that there's a lot of liquidity building up above these equal highs over here, and we still have this fresh area of supply. Next to that, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world with everything that's going on in the Middle East. We have the situation with Israel, Lebanon, Palestine, everything that is going on over there, Russia, Iran, Ukraine. This is all causing for people to step into the dollar. And that's also why the dollar has not been falling any further, because of this fundamental news, okay? Obviously, we also have the elections, and in an election year, often what you'll see the dollar do is that towards the last 2 months, the dollar will start consolidating. So these are just all reasons why the dollar has not fallen further since those rate cuts last week. Now going to Aussie dollar, what is happening over there? So on Aussie dollar, obviously we pushed through this area of demand. For me, not a problem because we didn't get any bullish confirmation inside that demand zone. So remember what I always explain to you, you have these demand zones, but you need to understand how the market moves inside of them. Obviously, we've now come in, if you go into the 15-minute, for example, here at the top, the overall order flow just remained extremely bearish. You can very clearly see that this buy before the sell over here was in control. Then this overall range over here was in control. Then again, this buy before the sell over here was in control. And that has just continuously pushed the market down lower. Then since we came in towards the downside, we saw a break over here, break to the upside. And now the order flow has shifted, pushing the market up higher. So focusing on AUDUSD, based on, for example, the 1 hour time frame, you could have identified that there was a change of character over here, and this was potentially a good spot to go long from, or for example on another high break over here in towards the upside. So some nice long opportunities there on Aussie dollar. Looking at the daily time frame, first of all, we can very clearly see that the daily demand has still held. At the moment, this is my daily demand zone, these two wicks. Normally people would say this bearish candle over here, which is also perfectly fine because this is also your fractal low, but you can see that it already got filled by this wick of this bullish candle up. Therefore, it's pretty much just being moved on the demand in towards those two wicks. And as you can see, we pop in and we pop back out. So expecting still higher prices until the low of this bearish candle goes. Then I would be interested in some further downside from AUDUSD. To potentially start grabbing some more lows over here, because look, this low over here, it took out this low, so this is a liquidation low. This low liquidated this low over here and then caused the market to reverse. Therefore, this is a very strong low. A lot of these lows over here were not formed. For example, this one was not formed by any liquidation. It is the liquidity low. Therefore, if the market comes back, it's very likely to take that low out. The same is here. This is not a liquidity low. So what I would prefer to see is some more equal lows get taken out, and then for example the longs. But yeah, I mean, for now Aussie dollar is just still a buy in my opinion until we break that daily fractal low over here. Okay, so going onwards into pound dollar, what's happening over there? Yeah, we saw quite a deep retracement actually. Not gonna lie, no real reaction. Obviously we did see kind of like the bullish impulse of around, what was it, 50 pips from that level which I mentioned, but again, nothing really interesting. Overall for me, pound dollar has just been so messy. At the end of the day, what we're reacting to at the moment is just this old sell before the buy, and that's what's pushing the market up higher now. Fine, we could see further upside from here, but I'm not a big fan of this personally. I would prefer to see maybe one more reaction from this supply zone. Let's see how the market reacts to it. Then maybe one more sell-off in towards the downside, and then for example a market structure shift, yeah, coming in towards here, and then looking for those longs, because just buying over here for now is for me not optimal as we have supply over here. So I'm waiting. I'm definitely waiting when it comes to pound dollar. It's not very clear for me. I would definitely prefer to trade EURUSD. But I mean, for the rest, the daily is still extremely bullish. This one bearish candle doesn't mean suddenly that GBPUSD is bearish. So I'm still just targeting the swing high above over here at 1.34387. Going into NZDUSD, what's happening over there? So we've actually made a very nice pullback, not going to lie, perfectly in towards this sell before the buy. Again, blue line is your lower, let's say, market structure shift. If we break that further downside, as long as it's respected, we should continue up higher. And as you can see, we come in and we push up higher again. So now you can look for longs on NZDUSD going towards the 4-hour time frame, and then try to identify if we see any longs. Go into the 1 hour. I mean, for now, you've been forming an area of consolidation over here. So who knows, maybe if we come back into there, some new long opportunities will arise after liquidating this range over here. So try and identify some potential longs. But obviously we need the order flow to kind of form. So maybe if we start seeing something like this, then start long after another high break and confirming that this demand zone is actually something, because otherwise you could just start falling through again and just move down lower, kind of like with this bigger trend that we have over here, right? So really look for some confirmation that there is actually bullish momentum coming in, and then you'll have a far higher probability of winning your trade. Going into gold, last of all, what are we seeing over there? Gold has been consolidating like crazy. Today we have some news on the dollar, a lot of red folder news, so keep that in mind. I think the gold is waiting for the Fed Chair Powell speech, so so let's see what's going to happen, and let's just wait for your gold to push down lower. That would be interesting, obviously, after such an overextended move, but again, with all the uncertainty, I wouldn't really want to short gold. Again, with gold, guys, you're just really dependent on what the news is going to do. There's no real key levels here that can make the price move in a certain direction, in my opinion. All I know is that we have some more buy-side liquidity resting above these highs, and that we have swiped the low already over here. So yeah, maybe some more upside would make sense, but then again, we're at the hands of the gods of the news. So let's just wait for that to fall and focus more on Euro dollar, Aussie dollar, and Kiwi dollar. So that's it for today. Thanks so much for joining in, and I'll see you inside Discord. Thanks.